Hello and welcome to Middle-Aged Man Channel. Today you join me on a whirlwind tour of the Peak District. So I've just arrived in Buxton, and perhaps not surprisingly, coming north, it's raining, and it's raining quite a lot. So today I'm driving a BMW Z4. It's a 3-litre S-Drive automatic 2010 model, so it's just about the right kind of car for this grand tour. I've arrived at the Palace Hotel in Buxton, which is famous for being a spa town, and seemingly there's a hot springs here which delivers a steady 28 degrees centigrade stream of water. Let's try and find that. The Palace Hotel was built in 1863 on the coming of the railways to Buxton, which kind of really got the growth into the town. So let's go and experience some Victorian grandeur. Good morning! Here we are, after a reasonable breakfast at the Palace Hotel in Victorian splendour. Now we're on our way to Bakewell. Some nice windy roads. Actually this bit looks a bit straight, but it's the right car for the job. BMW E89, 2009 to 2016 with a tin top. So what we got with this car, we've got straight 6 engine, 24 valves, 254 bhp, top speed of 155 miles an hour. No way, I'm not going to be driving at that speed. 0 to 60, very reasonable, 5.8 seconds. This 6-speed gearbox. So a few weeks ago I reviewed an SLK. It's always tempting to draw a parallel, a comparison. However, we must remember it was 10 years older than this car. So things have moved on. That SLK had a V6 3.2 litre engine, bigger engine, and that was producing 215 bhp. So this is 254. It's got a lot more beans. It's got torque of 228 pound-feet, so yeah, quite a lot of pulling power. Drives very, very nicely indeed. So 2 things worthy of note, I think, with this car. First one, real positive. It's such a flexible engine when it's geared with this 6-speed box. It can pull in 6 from 30 miles an hour quite easily, even if you're going slightly uphill. Not a problem at all. So there's a little guide on the dash here that says change up, change down, and I've never yet seen it say change down, even when you're going up quite a steep incline and the revs are fairly low. It's always saying, come on, change up, I'm ready for it. So it's almost like driving an automatic car once you're, over 30 miles an hour. It's great, just utterly flexible, really nice. That's the first point. The second point is the steering. Now, it's a little bit different in a way. This is, rather than hydraulically powered, the steering, it's electrically assisted, so it's got a little motor on the steering column. And what I find is it's very, very direct action, and it's almost like a quick rack steering box. It's almost like driving a go-kart. It's raining quite heavily. So on roads like this, yeah, it's rather nice, it's good. Yesterday, the day before, I was doing a little bit of motorway work, and at 70 miles an hour, you've only got to breathe on the steering wheel, just very, very slight input to the steering wheel, and wow, before you know it, you're in another lane. So it takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you're there, it's okay. So yeah, let's see what we see in Bakewell. It's raining. we're in the north, we're in the Peak District, but it's raining expected. It's the kind of rain that really wets you through as well. But it's still good, it's all good. So, heading off down towards Castleton and Peveril Castle. Still really nice, dramatic countryside, beautiful. There's going to be no opportunity to get the tin top off today, but it's a very good system. It retracts very, very quickly, 20 seconds as opposed to the Mercedes SLK 30 secones. And once it's up, of course, it transforms the car because you've got a really windproof, wet-proof car. So it's just like having a nice coupe, sports coupe. I've just had opportunity to turn this car around in quite a tight spot as well, and discovered with its 11-metre turning circle, it's really, really, flexible. It's really versatile. You can just swing this car around very, very quickly indeed. Absolutely superb. So back to the roof. With the roof up, you've got carrying capacity of 310 litres, so it's quite a big boot. And with the roof down, you've still got 180, and it's quite accessible as well. It's kind of a little hard carpeted plastic cover that has to be down before the roof drops, just so there's space for the subframe for the roof and everything. So I just pulled over for the moment. It's seriously rainy, and it gives a great opportunity right now just to tell you a few more things about the car. So it has got quite a nice sport mode on it. So you're either in normal or sport, which kind of adjusts the time that the level to which the ESP kicks in. And then you've got the Super Sport or the Sport Plus, which takes the ESP off altogether. So you've got those options. This car was specced with a few optional extras as well. So it's got the Parkotronic, and it's got the iDrive system. Quite an early instance of the iDrive system. They were quite expensive options actually. The iDrive itself was over £2,000, bringing this car to around about £35,000 in 2010. It's not too bad because it's probably worth £10,000 to £11,000 now with some 70,000 miles on it. It's been well serviced, and it certainly drives very, very nice indeed. So what can I tell you about the interior? It's all very, very high quality materials. I particularly like the wheel. It's a taut car to drive, and all the kind of interfaces that you touch are quite taut as well. So you hit the wheel here, and it's quite, it's leather bound, but it's nice hard material. Beautifully shaped. It's got these nice little thumb holds or thumb rests on it. So absolutely love that. Nice size. Looking around the car, it's got my old favourite. It's got the kind of cream colours and the black colours. Contrasts very, very nicely, but it makes it a nice light environment. And it's also got nice light coloured aluminium across the dashboard, and you can tell, just feel this is proper aluminium. This isn't any kind of coated plastic. It's the real McCoy. Individual controls for all the climate system, and it's got some nice knobs as well. So rather than any kind of tacky plastic here, it's properly manufactured pieces of aluminium. So yeah, I've got to say, absolutely loving it at the moment. So rain stopped, it's brightening very nicely now. Let's go and see how it handles. Wet roads though. You can probably see with camera bounce it is quite taut. So it's probably not quite as forgiving as the old SLK, but it is tighter at cornering, and it certainly grips very nicely indeed. So the handling, it's got a 50-50 weight distribution, this car, and you can really feel There's kind of no hint of understeer, oversteer. It just feels perfectly balanced and very grippy. And if you tuck that back wheel in, you could be giving it some beans around the corner. You just tuck that back wheel in and it absolutely sticks. It's just lovely. You know, the nice thing about the Peak District, everybody is just so polite. It's rather lovely. They've got their priorities right here, you know. And the beer's very good and it's reasonably priced. Just a slight aside there. You don't have to be going very fast to enjoy this. But I think it's the kind of car that could easily encourage you to drive a little bit faster, actually. Just because of its capabilities. But for me, it would have to be very persuasive because I usually do. You know, I'm no racing driver. So I'll take it fairly easy. But it's still great fun. So I was playing a little game with the gearbox yesterday. You can quite nicely just drive it with all its kind of, you know, just by pulling the gear lever back all the time. So into neutral and then back. So you can go kind of 2, 4, 6. And it'll just drive like that all day. You can set off in second quite easily, just up the revs slightly. And then, you know, click into 4 and then click into 6. And, yeah, it's just so flexible, it will do it, no problem at all. But if you want to religiously go through the range, then everything's there to be able to do so. Enjoying the BMW Z4. So my conclusion, it's a very, very capable car. More than capable, it's spirited. It's a high quality build, everything's got a lovely feel with it. It handles and performs really nicely. It's also reasonably economical. It's kind of between 33 and 45 mpg in this car, which for a 3 litre, 254 bhp, pretty good, pretty good. So for me, I think, let's go back in time to, you know, a number of years ago when I was a real Capri enthusiast. I had 5 Ford Capris. They were it for me. That was the Grand Touring car. But I think for me, what I'd say is, my mind, this is the spiritual successor to the Ford Capri. It's not got the wobbly steering. It's not got the feedback through the brakes. All those things are not good things. But it's very refined, actually. And I'd be quite happy to drive this on a really grand tour. So, thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've certainly enjoyed it. Please hit the like below and please also subscribe. It always helps. Join you next time.